morning. Today's discussion is transmission of nerve impulses. We have already discussed the structure of neuron, and its function is to perceive senses and transmit it to the central nervous system. Okay, so the neurons, once the neurons receive senses, okay, perceive senses, the nerve cells transform these senses into nerve impulses. Okay, the messages are transmitted in the form of nerve impulses. Okay, so the nerve cell convert these senses into nerve impulses and then transmit into the central nervous system. So the nerve impulses are electrochemical excitation waves generated by the neurons, and they are transmitted across an axon membrane. Okay, so this is done by, okay, the whole process is done by three major processes. Okay, we can broadly set up these processes into three major steps. One is maintenance of resting potential, then generation of action potential, and the third one is propagation of action potential. Okay, these are the three major steps involved in the transmission of nerve impulses. So let's look into the maintenance of resting potential. You know that unlike other cells, the membrane of a neuron or the axon is electrically polarized. Okay? One side is positive and other side is negative. In either way, the membrane is electrically polarized. So this electrically polarized state of axon membrane is maintained by three processes. Okay, how does the membrane has got some charge inside and outside? This is because of the three processes. One is anion trap. Okay, anion trap. Anion means negatively charged. Okay, ions. So trap means something trapped inside. So anion trap means the negatively charged ions are trapped inside the axoplasm. So the negatively charged ions are trapped inside the axon. You have already understood the structure of a neuron, which I have drawn for the explanation purpose today again. So the negatively charged ions are trapped inside the axon. How does this happen? You know that there are transmembrane channels or proteins present in the axon membrane that aids in the inward and outward movement of various ions. However, in case of anion trap, many of the negatively charged ions or the molecules are large sized molecules, and therefore these large sized molecules cannot cross the small pore size of these transmembrane proteins present in the axon. Okay, with respect to the pore size of the axon membrane, the size of these molecules are very large. Therefore, they are actually trapped inside. They cannot move out or in. They are actually trapped in. That's why its name is anion trap. Mainly, most of the proteins are negatively charged, you know. Proteins, most of the biochemical processes which are going on inside a cell are mediated by the enzymes, and all the enzymes are, as you know, they are proteins, and in general proteins are negatively charged. Okay, so the negatively charged proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, etc., all negatively charged and large sized molecules are actually trapped inside. So they cannot move or out. Where they are present, they will remain as such there. Therefore, that contributes to the negativity of the axoplasm inside. Okay, because they are negatively charged and they cannot move. So they remain inside as negatively charged ion, and therefore that substantially contributes to the negativity inside the axon membrane. So this is one process, anion trap. Second one is ion leak channels. As the name implies, various positive and negatively charged, or the various ions, they leak through channels, through transmembrane channels, in and out of the axon membrane. Okay, so as I have drawn here, the axon membrane are just like plasma membrane, and they are made of lipid bilayer, and these ion leak channels are nothing but transmembrane proteins which aid, which help in the, which act as a gate to come in and move out of the axon membrane. So these ion leak channels are, they help in the selective movement of various ions inside as well as outside to the axon membrane. And there are two types: sodium ion leak channel and potassium leak channel, or simply sodium channels and potassium channels. So these are the two ion leak channels which aid in the, which mediate the influx and efflux of sodium and potassium channels in and out respectively. Okay. And the third one is sodium potassium pump. You must have studied it in your previous classes. This is a process of process mediated by ATP enzyme, and that selectively pump sodium and potassium ions. What happens is that this selectively pumps sodium. Let me draw it again. Suppose this is the sodium potassium pump. This selectively pumps sodium ions out of the membrane, and that brings the potassium ions into the cell interior or the axoplasm. Okay. This is done by, again, these sodium potassium pump are also again incorporated in the axon membrane. So in the axon membrane there are actually two types of transmembrane channels or gates present. They are sodium potassium pump one. Second one is ion leak channels, and these ion leak channels are again two types: sodium gates and potassium gates. So these are the different types of gates through which the efflux and influx of sodium and potassium ions can take place. Okay. Firstly, let me explain to you. In general, we can say that once a neuron is not activated, this means when a neuron is in a resting condition, we can call this neuron as a resting neuron. Okay? Resting neuron is a neuron which is not yet been stimulated. Okay? It is an unstimulated, unactivated neuron. Okay? And as I have explained to you earlier that the membrane of axon is electrically polarized, and of course even if the neuron is in a resting condition, its membrane is also electrically polarized. This is called the resting potential or the resting membrane potential. Okay? Resting potential. And once a neuron is stimulated, this means a neuron has been activated. So such a neuron is called an active neuron. Okay? Active neuron, and again, once a neuron is stimulated, there is a change in the electrical polarity, okay, of the membrane, which is called the action potential. Okay? So the resting potential is the membrane potential present in a resting neuron, whereas action potential is the potential difference exists on an active neuron which is just stimulated. Okay. So in general, the inside of an axon membrane is, or in other words, the inside of a resting neuron is negatively charged. In other words, we can say that the resting potential of a resting neuron is negative inside and positive outside with respect to each other. Okay? Let me draw it again. Okay? Okay. I am going to enlarge a portion of axon. Okay? Axon. We can say that the outside of the axon membrane is positively charged and inside is negatively charged. Okay? If you remember the structure of axon, axon is just like a tube, you know, it's like a tube. If we take a sectional view, it's like a tube, and it has an outer surface and an inner membrane surface. And what I have drawn here is the longitudinal sectional view, and what I have shown here is the sectional view. In the sectional view, we can say that if I draw the same here, the inside is negatively charged and outside is positively charged. Okay? The inside is negatively charged and outside is negatively charged. No, outside is positively charged. This is because of the differential distribution of sodium and potassium ions and the presence of anion trap, because most of the negatively charged ions are actually trapped inside the axon membrane, and therefore it has got a negative charge inside in relation to the other side. This means that when we say that the outside is positive, this means that there are few negatively charged ions present outside and few positively charged ions present inside. But the relatively more number of positively charged ions are present outside. So therefore we can say that the outside membrane is positive with respect to the other. Okay? The relative number of positively charged ions are more than that of the negatively charged ions outside. So, okay, this is very important to understand. Okay? When we say the outside is positively charged, means there are more number of positively charged ions outside. Okay? More number of positively charged ions and less number of negatively charged ions. So the net charge will be outside positive and inside negative. Okay. So now this is another process which maintains this process is the sodium potassium pump. So okay, this is a process in which when 3 sodium ions are pumped out of the membrane, 2 potassium ions are pumped in. Okay, when 3 positively charged sodium ions are pumped out, then at the same time 2 potassium ions are pumped in. So this means when 3 positive moves out, only 2 comes in. So the net charge will be 1 plus 1 positively charged ion will be extra outside. Okay, what we are talking of the maintenance of resting potential. Here in this condition, this is an enzyme mediated reaction in which we have an ATPase enzyme. We can call it as the E1. Okay, I'm not going to draw all the enzymes. Okay, the schematic diagram has been given in the textbook. Firstly, let me convert this into a different one, a different shape. So this is a okay. I hope you can see it. Suppose this is the sodium potassium pump, and when this is, we can say that this is the enzyme 1, E1. When it is bound with ATP, okay? Now ATP, when it is bound with ATP, that helps in the phosphorylation of this enzyme, and that helps in the binding of 3 sodium ions. Okay? Now, during phosphorylation, 3 sodium molecules are bound with the inner side. Okay, this is inside, and this is outside of the axon membrane. So when 3 sodium ions are bound with, okay, and the phosphorylation makes the enzyme everted. Okay, everted. This means in the next step, the enzyme got everted. So what happens is that the 3 sodium ions are released into the cell outside, okay, into the cell exterior, okay, the cell exterior, and 2 new potassium ions bind with the enzyme, and again that gets everted again. Okay, so firstly, the binding site is inside, and 3 sodium ions got bound to it, then ATP bound, enzyme phosphorylated, and enzyme got everted. Okay, so this means inside becomes, inside it is pushed out. Okay, therefore the inner part becomes out, and therefore here in this case, okay, as you can see here in this case, the 3 sodium ions, okay, the sodium ions which were bound here have been everted and ejected out. They are expelled out of the enzyme, and the potassium binding site, it is the site where 2 potassium ions bind, and they again revert again into the back stage. And here in this stage, okay, in the next stage, again in the same way, the 2 K plus ions, are expelled into the plasma, into the axon membrane or the exoplasm, or into the cell. Okay, so this is what the sodium potassium pump is. Here in this case, at a time when 3 sodium molecules are pumped out, then during eversion 2 molecules of K plus ions comes inside. Okay, so during this process, the sodium channels, okay, the ionic channels are 2 types, sodium and potassium channels. So the sodium channels will be very closed. Okay, the sodium gates are fully closed, and therefore during sodium potassium pump, when 3 molecules of sodium are pumped out, they cannot come in, because the sodium ions can move inward only via sodium gates, and these sodium gates are closed here now. Okay, so whatever sodium molecules are pumped out, they are trapped outside. Okay, they are all trapped outside, and they cannot move inward. Okay, and this is the way how the resting membrane potential is maintained. Okay, the inside will be negative and outside will be positive in with respect to the other side. എങ്ങനെയാ ഇൻസൈഡ് നെഗറ്റീവ് ആയത്? ഒന്ന്, നെഗറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ് പ്രോട്ടീൻസ് ന്യൂക്ലിയിക് ആസിഡ് ഒക്കെ ഉള്ളിൽ തന്നെ കുടുങ്ങിക്കിടക്കും അല്ലേ? ദേ ആർ ഓൾ ട്രാപ്ഡ് ഇൻസൈഡ് because of the anion trap, because their molecular size is much higher, far higher than these gates, so they cannot move. So this is one process, anion trap. Next one is ion leak channels. So these are the gates through which sodium and potassium ions can move in and out. Okay, so during the at the time when the resting membrane potential is to be maintained, the sodium gates are completely closed. So the sodium ions cannot move in or out. Okay, so during the third process, sodium potassium pump, when 3 molecules of sodium are pumped out and 2 molecules of potassium ions come in. Remember, both are positively charged, but when 3 positively charged ions move out, only 2 positively charged ions come in. Okay, 3 move out and only 2 comes in. So the net charge will be 1 positive molecule outside will be extra, and this is the reason why the outside is positive in relation to the inside. Okay, and because of the presence of anion trap or negatively charged ions inside, the inside will automatically be negative with respect to the outside. Okay, this is what the maintenance of a resting potential. Okay, maintenance of a resting potential. Now, the generation of action potential. Okay? Generation of action potential. The whole processes will be stopped only for a very short period. Okay, only for a few milliseconds. So what happens is that, okay, anion trap, that has nothing to do because the negatively charged ion molecules are trapped inside, they cannot move. Okay, now what happens is that the sodium channels were closed here. Okay, they will be opened. Okay, they will be wide opened, and therefore the positively charged sodium ions move in. Okay, they can move inward. Positively charged sodium ions, they move inside, and therefore the inside becomes slowly and gradually becomes positive, because of course negatively charged ions are still there, but the relative number of positively charged ions become more inside and than the outside. Okay, the potassium gates are closed and sodium gates are opened. So whatever positively charged potassium ions are present inside, they cannot move out. Okay, at the same time there was a very high concentration of sodium channels outside. Okay, you know that there was a tendency to move sodium ions from outside to inside because of the diffuse, there was a tendency to diffuse from higher concentration to lower concentration, which was from outside to inside, but the sodium channels were closed, so sodium ions were unable to come inside. But what happens during the generation of action potential is that the potassium gates closes, so no potassium ions can move from inside to outside. So more number of positively charged ions are trapped inside, and at the same time the sodium gates are opened. Therefore the outside was already contained large number of sodium ions, so they can move inside. There is a rapid influx of positively charged sodium ions from outside to inside. Therefore, the negativity becomes slowly and gradually, moves towards the positivity. We would say that when the inside was negative, the charge was somewhere like minus 70 millivolt. Okay? When few positively charged sodium ions moves in, this charge slowly and gradually comes down. For example, when few molecules comes in, the negativity comes down, okay, from minus 70 to minus 69, then minus 68, then minus 60, then minus 20, minus 5, minus 2, minus 1, and finally the net charge becomes 0. ഇതെപ്പോഴാണ് സംഭവിക്കുക? നെഗറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ് സോഡിയം അയോൺസ് ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഉള്ളിലുള്ള നെഗറ്റിവിറ്റി അങ്ങനെ ബാലൻസ് ചെയ്ത് പോകില്ല, ക്യാൻസൽ ചെയ്ത് പോകും. ഓക്കെ, സോ ആസ് മോർ ആൻഡ് മോർ സോഡിയം അയോൺസ് മൂവ് ഇൻ, then the negativity comes down, and finally then minus 5, minus 4, minus 2, minus 1, finally 0. But still more number of sodium ions are still moving inside. Then the negativity moves towards positivity. Okay, so after 0 it comes like plus 1, plus 2, plus 5, and finally it moves towards plus 20 millivolt. So there is a change in the electric charge also. Okay? In the resting condition, the resting membrane potential or the resting membrane potential was minus 70 millivolt, because with respect to the positively charged ions, the inside contained more number of negatively charged ions. Therefore, the inside was minus 70 millivolt, and during the generation of action potential, more number of positively charged ions, they are the sodium ions, they start moving in, and therefore the negativity increases. Then slowly, negativity decreases and positivity increases. When കാരണം എന്താ, പോസിറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ് അയോൺസ് ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് വരികയാണ്, അപ്പം നെഗറ്റിവിറ്റി കുറയും അല്ലേ. അങ്ങനെ കുറഞ്ഞ് 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 മൈനസിൽ നിന്ന് സ്ലോലി കുറഞ്ഞ് കുറഞ്ഞ് സീറോയിലെത്തി. Still more number of sodium ions are still coming in, and therefore the charge becomes plus 1, plus 2, and then so on up to plus 20. So when we say that during the generation of action potential, the resting membrane potential reverses, as I have explained to you here in the case of the charge. Okay, it moves from minus 70 millivolt to the plus 20 millivolt. So there is a change of 90 millivolt. So this charge reverses. This means the outside was actually positive earlier, but during the generation of action potential, the outside becomes negative, and inside positive, just opposite to what it was earlier. Okay, this process is called depolarization. Okay? So depolarization is the reversal of resting membrane potential from outside positive to outside negative, and inside negative to inside positive. Okay? During the resting membrane potential or the resting condition, the outside was positive. Okay? That becomes negative, and the inside was negative. Okay? Minus 70 millivolt, and that has come to positivity, plus 20 millivolt. Okay? So this is what we call the depolarization. Okay, this is only for a very short period of time, only for a few milliseconds, after which that goes back. Okay, that moves back to its original condition, that restores its charge back to outside positive inside negative. It was only for a short duration and only for a short distance. The the charge was reversed from negative to positive, which we called as the depolarization, and after very short period of time that goes back to the resting membrane potential, which is called the repolarization. Okay. Repolarization. Okay. So the depolarization followed by repolarization. This together makes an action potential. Okay. So this is how the action potentials are generated. Okay. Okay. Action potential. Now the propagation of action potential. What happens is that once action potential has just traveled, suppose for example, this is the action potential. Okay. So this is the action potential in this case. Now, you know that the negative and positive charges attract each other. Okay. The negative outside attract the positive outside, and similarly the negative present inside attracts the very next part, very adjacent part. So in this way, that attracts that stimulates the very next part. Okay. And that forms a local current, you know, that makes a local current, which we call a local electrical circuit or a mini circuit. Okay. So this portion, the junction part, is called the mini circuit, that acts as a mini circuit. That is the area where the electric changes rapidly occurs from depolarization to repolarization. Okay. From, in other words, from the resting membrane potential to the action potential. Okay. So this portion got stimulated and this action potential slightly moves forward. So in the back side, that got reversed. Okay. This portion attracts, this positive attracts negative. Okay. In this way, the action potential slowly and very quickly that moves forward. This is called the propagation of action potential. Okay. So one depolarization followed by one repolarization, that together makes one complete action potential. So let me explain to you once more very quickly. The transmission of nerve impulse occurs in 3 steps. One is maintenance of resting potential, generation of action potential, and propagation of action potential. Then maintenance of resting potential means when a neuron is in a resting condition, we call it as the resting membrane potential. Its membrane is electrically polarized. Outside is positive and inside is negative. This is maintained by 3 processes. One is anion trap, in which all the negatively charged large sized molecules are trapped inside. Therefore, since they are negatively charged, that contribute to the negativity inside, then ion leak channels. There are 2 types, sodium channels and potassium channels, or sodium gates or potassium gates. So these are the gates through which molecules can move in or out. Then the third one is sodium potassium pump. In the sodium potassium pump, 3 sodium molecules are sodium ions are pumped outside the axon membrane, and 2 potassium molecules are moved inside. Okay. 3 positive ions move outside and only 2 comes in. So net charge is 1 positive charge moves towards outside. Okay. So during the resting condition, the sodium gates are, these sodium gates are fully closed. Therefore, no sodium ions can move inside. Okay. Of course, during sodium potassium pump, there is a large pumping of sodium molecules from inside to outside. So relatively there is a concentration gradient that forms here. Although there are more number of sodium ions present, they cannot move inside because the sodium ions can move to inside only via sodium gates, and these sodium gates are closed. Okay, so in the resting potential, the sodium ions gates are closed, and therefore sodium ions cannot move inside, and therefore the net charge is outside positive and negative inside. When we say that the charge is minus 70 millivolt. Okay. Now, once a neuron is stimulated, that start responding. Okay, that forms nerve impulses. Okay, the neurons send messages in the form of nerve impulses. Okay, they are formed by the just reversal of the resting membrane potential. What happens? The sodium gates open, potassium gates closes. So when potassium gates closes, no positive here in the sodium potassium pump, large number of potassium ions were moved inside. Okay, so during the generation of action potential, the potassium gates closes. So no positively charged potassium molecules move out. At the same time, the sodium gates open. Therefore, there is a large influx of sodium ions into the cell interior, and therefore the minus 70 millivolt slowly and gradually moves towards the positivity. We can say negativity decreases and positivity increases. So minus 70 slowly comes down to 0, then plus, and finally that moves to plus 20. So this reversal, okay, the whole process make the membrane outside negative and inside positive. Okay, we call this process as the depolarization. Okay, depolarization is the reversal of resting membrane potential in which the outside becomes negative and inside becomes positive. Okay, so this is the depolarization, and this is very momentary. You know, it occurs only for a very short period of time. Immediately, that moves back to its resting membrane potential, to its original position, outside positive and inside negative. This process is called repolarization. Okay, first depolarization, then repolarization. These two together makes one complete action potential. This action potential are generated from the cyton of the neuron, and that slowly moves towards the axon terminals. Okay, and this is only momentary, only for a very short distance. And the propagation of action potential is nothing but the movement of action potential from cyton towards the axon terminals. So in this way, the action potentials are traveled across the axon, across the entire length of the axon terminals. Now, next part is saltatory transmission. Okay, saltation. Saltation means jumping. Okay, in the normal case, okay, normally what we have seen here is the depolarization and repolarization processes have to be continued from cyton to the axon terminals throughout the entire length of the axon. Whereas in case of myelinated neurons or medullated neurons, in case of such neurons, suppose this is an axon and they have a myelin sheath covering over the surface, and they are not continuous, you know, they are broken, and we call this bare zone or the open areas as the node of Ranvier. Okay, node of Ranvier. So there is one protective layer called axolemma, okay, which is made of the Schwann cell. Okay. So normally, instead of depolarizing and repolarizing the entire length of axon, what happens here is that the ions jump from one node to the next. This is what we call the saltatory transmission. Saltation means jumping. Why, why does this happen? Because the myelin sheath is made of, it is made of a lipid which is a non-conductor of electricity, that does not allow ions or electricity to pass through, and therefore it acts as an electric insulator, and therefore that does not allow the depolarization and repolarization process throughout, because it's an insulator. So there are some bare area where myelin sheath is not there. So what happens is that it depolarizes this zone first, then the ions jump from this node to next node, because this myelin sheath is an insulator that does not allow to depolarize, that does not allow the electricity to pass, or the electrically charged ions to move, to pass through. Therefore, it's quite easy, that helps in the rapid jumping from one node to the next node. So this is what we call the saltatory transmission. So this is a very quick, very speedy transmission of impulse, in which the electric, the transmission becomes sometimes like 50 times more faster. Okay, the transmission via this method is something like 50 times faster than the normal transmission of impulse. So if you remember my first class, in which we had explained that, we have mentioned that in case of myelinated neurons, the myelin sheath actually speeds up the transmission of impulse. So this is that process, the saltatory transmission. Instead of going through the depolarization and the repolarization process throughout the entire length of axon, it requires to depolarize and repolarize only at the nodes, okay, only at the node of Ranvier. So this makes the transmission far more quicker. Okay. So this is what the saltatory transmission of impulses.